Hello, welcome back to another Wingspan game, this time another game from the orange bellied parrot. Pentathlon. We are still in the baseboard segment, so really interesting kind of game mode, but we see a violet green swallow and American crow on the tray. Interesting choices to be had there. Both birds considered to be quite powerful on baseboards. I mean, don't trust me on this, I just am repeating lines I've heard elsewhere. This is not my forte by any stretch of the imagination. We are against Millie B here, and I believe the situation is pretty dire. We have lost all of our games, so if we want any chance of potentially advancing, we need to win some games, and pretty quickly, so lots to think about here. I mean, this Blue Rock Thrush is kind of interesting. Maybe we can use that to get a bunch of cards and be chaotic. Maybe with this white-headed duck is something that's interesting. Brewer's Blackbird, not that interested in it, but whatever. But the way that we're taking all of these cards here is really suggestive of the fact that we want to take this Violet Green Swallow and start cycling cards. Pick up a worm from the feeder, play the Violet Green Swallow, start cycling cards. I think it's really hard to choose between American Crow and Violet Green Swallow American Crow. Quite a useful bird to have. Not as strong as Raven, of course, but getting alt food in the baseboard game mode is generally considered to be quite good. But I think for now, I'm definitely thinking, let's see if we can grab this swallow and do some cycling and see how we go. Yeah, we can skip it forward a little bit so we can get going. And as you will have seen, we're going to jump in and immediately grab Violet Green Swallow. And again, would really love this American Crow, but you only need to pick one card in baseboards, unfortunately. Sri Lanka Blue Magpie comes up, another pretty good bird. Pretty nice at turning forest engines into something. Maybe something my opponent goes for. It can be pretty tempting, a high point bird. But also difficult to play, not easy to play. Very difficult to play these big food cost birds, but it does tempt them away from this American Crow, and we will pick that up and grab that. So that does offer us an interesting decision now. How do we want to play things? How are we going to get all these cards in the game? Because if we can get American Crow and Violet Green Swallow into our grasslands, it seems like we're in a pretty good position. So it might just be we're going to take food twice here, play Swallow, lay eggs, slam that American Crow into the game, and then we're in a pretty nice position where we're kind of being able to cycle our cards, find better cards, while accumulating food with this crow over time. So that feels pretty good as far as baseboard's concerned. Imagine, yes, Violet Green Swallow goes straight in. Oh, if back to Sunbird comes into the game from my opponent, if they end up using that, that would actually be kind of helpful, will give me the extra resource I need to play its American Crow without having to go into my forest. That'd be quite nice. I'm looking at that already. And then we just need to find some friends for this grasslands. Like I said, Brewer's Blackbird is not super interesting. I think we will get our free food as well, so that's nice. And now we can just lay eggs and get this crow into the game. We'll get rid of whatever, Red Royal Lapwing, who cares? We'll pick up this Mandarin Duck, because if we can get the Mandarin Duck into the game, that's going to give us extra cards that will then support this Violet Green Swallow. So whatever card we get, whether it's good or bad, we can always cycle that into something good. So that's nice to think about. We do need to now think, do we want to try and play this Mandarin Duck early, or do we want to get this crow into the game first and then worry about things? And I think with the end of round being eggs and platform nests, actually we're going to lose this anyway. Maybe it's not so interesting. Actually, that extra food there does simplify things dramatically. Now we can get everything into the game. So now we're going to play American Crow, lay eggs, and then get Mandarin Duck into the game. So that's nice. So that worked out quite well for us. This extra food from our opponent, Sunbird, being quite helpful in being able to get us all sped up. So far, so good. I mean, this red knot, are we actually interested in that? I mean, in a normal Oceania game, I absolutely would be. But in this, it is a little bit tempting because it's going to give us extra cards, and cards are at a premium for us. Like, every card we get is basically going to be cycled into something good. So maybe that is something that is interesting for us, but I'm not quite sure at the moment. We are really looking for another point scorer. I mean, our opponent's doing some level of searching with the Tern and the Sunbird. maybe we will be tempted into red knot. I think we do want birds like that that can score well, although it's going to be very difficult for us to play, only generating one food at a time. So yeah, we are tempted into the red knot. Definitely better than a juniper titmouse, so probably happy to have that. But yeah, I think with this crow, we are only generating one food a turn. It takes 3 turns to generate enough food for this red knot. So maybe not something we can actually realistically play. Nevertheless, we can get this mandarin duck into the game and start thinking about how we're going to put all our pieces together. But I think we're feeling okay. We're not being blown out of the water just yet. This looks okay. Hopefully this mandarin duck does some good work for us and being able to find some good cards or something. That would be a great deal of help. In we go. Definitely going to throw it into the food because we would really love to get to column 2 on baseboard. Get to column 2, get that extra food going. That would be pretty useful for us, so then we can start alternating between forest and grasslands and score some points that way. That'd be kind of nice. And we're going to get even more food, so we'll deny this rat just in case it comes up, so feeling pretty good about things. We've got this house finch, which could be interesting, and also the snow bunting that could be interesting. I think house finch is probably the bird. Yeah, I mean, snow bunting is extremely good, but, you know, I feel like the extra value from the extra tuck is probably more important than the snow bunting at this point. We don't know if they're gonna go tucking or anything like that, so we'll just take the guaranteed thing. I think we can give them probably black-bellied whistling duck. I think food is so valuable on baseboards. I think throwing it away for 2 cards is just not really worth it. So yeah, we were thinking about barred owl, but that is ultimately the right decision. So we got another bird to throw in our grasslands now with this house finch, so that was a good find by mandarin duck. Feeling pretty good about that. Common teal could be interesting. I mean, the problem here is that we need to accumulate more birds into our wetlands. If we do pick it up, then we don't really have any ability to cycle anything else if we actually are intent on playing it. So we'll just keep taking our grassland stuff. I don't think we take the common... Oh, we will take the common teal, okay. And we reveal a white wagtail. Brilliant. I think maybe we would have preferred the white wagtail. Actually, wagtail's not that good for us. I mean, I prefer yellowhammer, because yellowhammer would have given us the extra food. But maybe we can get our hands on this wagtail instead. We do get the opportunity to go for a wagtail. And my opponent plays common raven. Well, yikes. Interesting. I'm going to play common teal. I don't know how I feel about that. Do not know how I feel about this. I think that might be a bit of a mistake. I know it can give me extra cards, which is something that I desperately need, but I feel like maybe we should have taken this wagtail. Giving away raven wagtail seems very, very scary. Then again, I have no idea how you actually calibrate the strength of these teal play and other birds on this in this format. Alright, so we get the seed that we needed for this house finch from the sunbird, which is nice. So I guess that means we go drawing. We draw and we take this draw and then play house finch. I mean, we can probably leave the white wagtail, but yeah, we'll take it. I guess it's fine. Azure tit for extra food. I don't know about that. I think preferring the random here is probably slightly better. I understand the appeal. Oh, actually, no. I guess I understand what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking if we are going to play wagtail, we are going to need some extra food. Playing the azure tit gives us 3 food out of the forest. That will enable us to do a bunch of stuff. So I can see the logic. It's not crazy. Franklin Skull. Alright, we're getting gull and raven. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, now we have to cycle something and we don't want to. So that's... yes, I mean, if we did want azure tit, I think we should have thought ahead, so we're missing a point there. But I mean, we're getting Gull Raven, and we just lose. We just lose. Ah, that is yikes. Alright, let's think. Can we get everything into the game that we need to get into? Can we do Azure Tit Food? And then Wagtail? I don't know if we can. We might be able to. We might be able to work out. I mean, the one game we actually get a good start. We get Gull Raven. I mean, what can you do? We're getting so much food, we shouldn't be worried too much about this Wagtail. Like, yeah, that's fine. So we play Azure Tit for the extra food. And we take food, play White Wagtail, and then probably play this House Finch. And then we're in a pretty decent position. I guess the question is, where do you put this Wagtail? Put it in the grasslands, or do you put it in the wetlands? And I think we have to put it in... the wetlands, because otherwise we can't play this House Finch into the grasslands, which is something we really, really, really want to do. Or maybe you even think maybe House Finch isn't even the play here. Mockingbird, Gull, Raven. I mean... there's not much you can do against that. Yikes, okay. Well, I don't know what to say. There's not much we can do. I mean, we can try. I mean, that's all we can do. We can only try. I mean, there's an argument that you do White Wagtail grass and then play White Duck into the White-headed Duck into the wetlands. You just try and get something going. More food coming through, so that's nice. Yeah, where do we put this Wagtail? I think I'm looking at the egg situation now, because if you do Wagtail House Finch into the grasslands, then Common Teal doesn't get to... oh, actually, no, the Common Teal does get to proc, actually. It does. Because what you do is you activate the Common Teal first, and then you play things. So yeah, this is actually okay. This is where the sequencing of the teals is important. You don't just have to do things and play the Wagtail, use the Wagtail power first, that kind of thing. So you gotta get your teal sequencing correct here. Alright, so we'll do Common Teal first. We'll grab a card. Oriental Bay Owl. Not super interesting. We will not tuck at this moment in time. We need these cards to cycle. Ingot Dove is a little bit interesting. Graceful Crinia. Nah. It's food. I'm not sure if we need it though. Maybe Downy Woodpecker is the play. Unclear. Very, very, very unclear. I'm gonna take Gallinule. Okay. I don't hate that. If we're going to get spammed food from the Sunbird, then Gallinule is good points. Give our opponent Inca Dove. I don't think Inca Dove is that good for them. It is a lot of eggs, but I also think their grassland spots are at a premium, so I think Inca Dove is the easiest card to give away. Play this House Finch into the grasslands, so we've got a very strong grasslands going, which is really nice. But maybe there was a world where we could have taken the Downy Woodpecker and double played, go Woodpecker into House Finch into the forest or something like that. It could have been interesting. Alas, we are not in that world. Look, Snowy Owl has come up, so we'll take that. We'll take all of the bonus birds we can get. Rock Pigeon is not super interesting, but that's fine. Then what do we do now? We probably... what do we want to play? Probably... Snowy Owl to grass is interesting. Blue is getting White-headed Duck into the game. So is Purple Gallinule. Gallinule has got nice egg capacity. would be good for getting tucks on this common teal. That's something to be thinking about. Ruby crown kinglet into goldfinch, right? So now they've counted my double tuck. Brilliant. This is just what happens when you play against Kildare Raven on baseboard. There's just nothing you can do. Like they just find all of the good cards. Everything that they could possibly need, they have. So yeah, I'm gonna start taking some food for the Snowy Owl. I don't think we're gonna play this European Robin, but are we actually gonna play Euro Robin? I don't like that. I don't like this. I think we already have enough food. Purple Martin comes in. Probably a bit late for you, I'm afraid. I think we need to play this. I think we need to play Gallinule and lay some eggs. Although this is a good food taking opportunity. We can take a rat for the Snowy Owl. And kind of move all of our pieces into place. I think that makes the most sense. Like we want to play 4 birds, right? Snowy Owl, Gallinule, Red Knot, White-headed Duck. That's like the best birds we can play. But I think that's what we do. So we take food now. Take this rat. Get a rat. Take the rat. And then take the worm for this red knot. And I think that's pretty good from here. So we do red knot. Okay, yeah, we can actually do red knot. Snowy Owl, eggs, and white-headed duck. That looks good to me. The issue here is that this end of round works against this common teal. Filling the blue magpie into the game, of course. Now, as if you needed more points, but yes, you can get more points. Full nests. That's a little bit awkward. Common miner. Well. I mean, if only this came up, like, a lot earlier. Yeah, I think House Finch into the forest might have been the play with that woodpecker, actually, now that I'm looking back. Not that I think it changes very much. I think we're still kind of extremely dead. We are only going to activate this House Finch, like, 2 more times, so it's a little bit annoying. More free food coming our way. Fish don't need that. That's fine though. I think competing for this end of round is full trap. I think we need to lay eggs. Oh, I think we need to use the Snowy Owl to lay an egg. So we do Snowy Owl, egg, in some order. Oh, okay, we are gonna go chasing the end of round. I don't know if I like that. Goodbye, Common Miner. You would have been incredible if you'd come out earlier. Don't think this Emerald Dove changes anything. I think we might want to play it. And we didn't use the Crow, which is a little surprising to me. I'm trying to... I mean, I understand going to 2 here. It's to force my opponent to have to lay eggs to counter it, basically. They have to lay another time to fill it out. Black-crowned Night Heron. So they've gone down to 2. So they're offering me an opportunity to win the end of round. Maybe that's not a terrible idea. Maybe that's not terrible. Because I'm kind of short on plays for the next round anyway. So they offered us the opportunity, we'll take it. Cortex and Nuthatch is pretty good. Nice find. It is another turn where we're not going to use this crow, because if we use the crow, then... we can use the crow. Do we really want that? Maybe we do, I don't know. We're considering playing this Emerald Dove, that's why. I mean, we could do Snowy Owl and then Emerald Dove or something like that. That might be smart. Tough to say. Bye, Martin. Again, would have been good a little bit earlier in the game. Tanager, not super interesting. Yeah, I feel like playing for the end of round there was the correct call. But it does feel bad. It does feel really bad. Because now we are limited to playing 4 birds. So we need to... Let's see what we find. Nothing interesting here. I mean, maybe you take Moonal, I don't know. I'm gonna keep Red Crown Crane. Maybe we can cycle a bonus card. It's a pretty easy bonus card to bird to play with its cost, but not a bird I'm very excited about playing. We'll use the teal ability, and I think we definitely want to tuck here. Yeah, we'll tuck those 2 away. Yeah, the teal's power is not conditional on having eggs, it's just conditional on having cards. So Snowy Owl can come into the game. I don't think you play it into the grasslands, I think you play it anyway. Oh, we are going to play it into the grasslands, okay. Popmon, alright, that's a good find. So that's a nice find. I guess if we are getting extra food, throwing it into the grasslands does make some sense. We do need to fill up a bunch of nests with eggs, so I think that's... I can see the logic there. Maybe we do... We can Red Crown Crane the 0 bonus card to just see a new one, I guess. Alright, we tie end of round, so not as good as we would have hoped, but better than nothing. Look at all that food that got cached. This is horrific. I mean, it's just crazy, like, the amount of points that this is gonna produce. It's actually insane. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Guess we could crane the population monitor, I guess, because we're not gonna add to that in any way, shape, or form. What are our candidate options now? So I guess we got Corsk and Nuthatch. Easy to play, get a food and a bonus card, which is nice. White-headed duck, obviously. Red Crown Crane, not super interesting. Asian Emerald Dove, good points, difficult to play, but I guess if we do White-headed duck, which we are going to play first up, then we can do Asian Emerald Dove to kind of fill in that gap. And, well, not great. I guess Wetland Scientist might be interesting. Maybe that means we do Crane and Gallinule to try and max that. Gallinule doesn't hit large bird, and forest. I guess I mean we could do Forest Ranger, but that seems silly. No, because it's only 2, so we can't do Forest Ranger. So yeah, it's Wetland Scientist, I think, is the play. Which is not great. I definitely would prefer to do something else here. So now I'm kind of locked into playing Gallinule and Red Crown Crane for the extra points. So, is that better than playing Asian Emerald Dove? We had 7 points, 4 points from doing the bonus card. Ibis Build giving us some cards. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do need to do a turn of eggs, so we'll do our turn of eggs. I think we can't afford to... I don't know if we can afford to take eggs off. I don't know. Maybe we need the food. Because remember, we do have Oologist, and maybe means the only way we can do Oologist is if we play this Asian Emerald Dove or something like that. Actually, we could play Crane the Oologist. And we don't have to worry about the spread of our eggs. Maybe that's the play. Actual utility out of the Crane. How's that? Never thought I'd echo that phrase. We actually have too much food now, don't we? Eggs, okay. Wonder if this is a skip wagtail angle. So yeah, we play Red Crown Crane, get that into the game. Yeah, spinning it like this so we have options between Gallinule and Emerald Dove. And then we get rid of Oologist, because if we don't, we will probably not be able to get points off it. And we get Popmon, which makes Purple Gallinule even better to play, so it's now 3 points from Popmon plus 4 points from Wetland Scientists. That's like a 12-point Gallinule. I mean, that's very hard to overlook. But I think this is definitely a skip angle. I think we should do. We should play I think we should play Gallinule and just egg. I think that's slightly better for us. I think taking cards here is a trap. We can't ever beat the Franklin Skull player. Like, they can Mockingbird the Gull and get more cards than us. Like, we shouldn't even try. Yeah, I think this is definitely a Wagtail skip angle. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. No. Play the Gallinule. I mean, you can take eggs. Eggs is fine. How many nests can we fill up? We can fill up 3. Okay, that's not very useful. Yeah. Alright, we calculated it. That's the correct calculation. We don't get any points from doing food or cards. We do get points from taking eggs, so it is just mathematically better to skip the Wagtail on this particular occasion. We could play Goshawk. Is Goshawk better? 4 points, 6 points, but give away 5 points. Goshawk is... Oh no, Goshawk loses us end of round. Never mind. Dang. 1 card short. I mean, that's just horrific. This is like absolutely terrifying. I think we played a really strong game. I think that, unfortunately, I feel like we're getting blasted because our opponents just had an even better game, so... Sometimes that's how the cards fall. Cycle away this. Great Indian Busted. What a good meme. Alright, I we had a good game. I mean, we really can't complain. I think we did everything we could. Hey, we get to draw 2 and we can tuck 2. That's nice. And nothing interesting here, of course. Yeah, look at that. They've got so many cards. Oh yeah, that's the power of Kill Girl. Killdeer Raven. Oh, sorry, Franklin Skull Raven. I'm getting confused. It's very, very, very hard to overcome that. I think the strength of the egg action is just so powerful. Being able to get all 3 resources is just really, really strong. So we get destroyed on ends of rounds. We're gonna get maybe we get destroyed on birds as well, actually, because they had some big birds. Yep. Bonus cards, we did very well, but beyond that, I think it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. Yep, losing on pretty much every category here. And total cards 118, 108. That's a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be. What did they have? I didn't see that. Viticulturalist. Okay, very nice. So Kinglet, Goldfinch, like a Blue Magpie, very nice. And Mockingbird, all contributing to that. I mean, what can I say? Well played. I think they had Killdeer. I had saying Killdeer. Franklin Skull and Raven and Mockingbird. They had very, very strong cards. They played the right birds. We made it competitive. I think a 10-point margin, being against that kind of immense pressure. I think we did what we could. So we'll take solace in that. 108's not a bad day at the office for a baseboard game anyway. So yeah, we'll take solace in that. But that does make qualification through to the next round extremely difficult. I suspect that even if I win out from here, it's going to be virtually impossible to qualify. But we'll see. We have 4 games left, 1 baseboard, 3 duets. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. And hopefully it's going to be alright. So yeah, we'll see you all in the next one.